Hello everyone and welcome to Sunburned. Albino lists every game he's played this month being September of 2023, even though I'm kinda late. There are only a few new releases I managed to get to this month. 2023 is still collectively kicking every gamer's ass if they're the type to buy more than 3 games a year, and the backlog is only increasing. I wasn't even able to spend more time with Starfield or Baldur's Gate 3, but I still hope to later. As always, these games are not rank ordered. Number 1, Mortal Kombat 1. I bought the early access $100 version of this game, hoping that ranking all the fatalities in a couple videos would make my money back. And looking at the analytics so far, it almost would have, but both fatality videos got age restricted because YouTube thinks video game violence is the same as real violence and advertising companies are all run by toddlers, which that last part is true. Apparently you could perform the fatalities on Reptile, a character in the game who has green blood, and skirt past the restrictions because the blood is green instead of red, but that just proves how nonsensical the rules are when green blood is even more disgusting, and I must have missed the memo on that dumb shit before I uploaded my video. Anyway, as far as the game itself goes, Mortal Kombat 1 is terrific. I derided 11 for taking out the running mechanic that X had, but 1 doesn't have it either, but for some reason I don't really miss it. The characters still feel more mobile, with really smooth combat animations, and the story mode, as always, is at the forefront of visual technology for fighting games. Great facial animations, great graphics. It's the cliche of it feels like you're playing a movie, except it kinda does. A lot of the characters have really fun movesets, and pretty much everyone is at least decent. Like, there's no egregiously bad fighters. Is MK1 the Street Fighter 6 of Mortal Kombat games? It's up to you, but even though I'm not going to put serious time into it, it was worth the purchase. Number 2, Hades. Every so often there comes along a game that the game's media treats as the second coming of Christ, where I played initially like, well yeah, it's good, but why are we on hands and knees begging it to sodomize us? It's not that good. There's usually one a year, and back when Hades launched in early access, that was my game. I'm a huge roguelike fan, I've played dozens of them, so when roguelikes are good, I'm happy to put 50 to 100 hours of crescendoing repetition into them, but to me, Hades was something that I enjoyed, but pieces of it kinda wore on me. I hate when Zagreus talks. I don't mind his dialogue with other people, but when he talks to himself, it's like an electrically charged current running through my brain and lighting up whatever systems control the state of being annoyed. He just has so much throwaway inner dialogue, from calling out the names of every enemy he sees, to commenting on the location he's in, to picking up a reward and always saying something about the specific reward. He's literally a play-by-play commentator of every aspect of his own journey, and it's so grating, I want to scream. That said, I went back and played it in September for an If I Die I Drink stream and enjoyed the progression and remembered why I put 30 or so hours into it in early access. It's a good time. It's still super hard, but there are new systems in place to ease that if you turn them on. Like back in the day, I maybe beat 2 out of my 50 runs. The boons just never feel like they can carry me unless you super luck out with your build. And even then, the bosses in rooms full of enemies will just whittle you down until you're running on fumes by the end. I never felt like I figured out how to be good at this game, but if I ever have some gaming downtime, which will never happen this year, I could see myself trying to get back into it. Number 3, Gunbrella. I still have to finish this, I'm probably halfway through, but Gunbrella is a 2D action platforming shooter that basically feels like if Celeste had a gun that was also an umbrella. You can use it to shoot, float, dash, block shots. The movement has a dream-like fluidity to it, and it just instantly feels good to play once you get used to using multiple shoulder buttons on a controller at once. It's a dark, bloody story of cults and revenge, with some levity attached, and it's a decent indie so far. Number 4, Cult of the Lamb. I never felt like I gave this game enough of a shot when it first came out. I wanted to finish it. I was having fun with my cult in my videos I was uploading, but then I think something else came out and ate up my time, so Cult of the Lamb was left to fester in the void like the one who waits. Upon revisiting and finishing an entire playthrough, I can say that the game never loses its charm as far as cultivating your camp and your followers, even though people looking for a cozy life sim are going to find themselves feeling like the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. Time is always running out, and you always have the fear of being late. You never really get to kick back and just enjoy your time building up your camp, which is a double-edged sword, because on one hand it stresses you the hell out and makes this far from a relaxing experience, but on the other, it creates these loops that are almost impossible to put down. When I streamed this game, the streams would go hours over what I'd normally do, because you always have something else that needs to be done right away, and it's addicting. It feels accomplishing. Everything you engage in is important and unlocks some kind of upgrade or betters your standing in other ways. This is one of the hardest games to put down that I've ever played, by design. I think the dungeon crawling is kinda lackluster though. I only like one of the weapons, the Warhammer, because it's so heavy and demolishes everything in these AoE pounds, which is awesome. and I never felt like the modifiers like cards and relics made enough of a difference in my runs. Every run felt pretty much the same, aside from what weapon I was using, and all the permanent progression really did was keep me scaled up as the enemies I was fighting scaled with me. It would be like, oh, your weapon now starts at level 4 instead of level 2, but by that point the enemies would be comparatively bulkier to match, so you never felt the difference in gameplay. In that sense, this game is kind of a fake roguelike like Returnal, but it has the benefit of being much cuter. I think the evil cute aesthetic should be used in video games more. Like, everything in here is straight up depraved, but you're a little lamb with big eyeballs, so you're like, aw. Number 5, Lies of P. I already reviewed this game, so if you want more in-depth stuff, check out my Lies of P game graph on my channel, but suffice it to say that I am not backing down from my claim that Lies of P is the best Souls-like ever, in a list that includes actual Souls games. I had so much fun playing this game, it made me so good at perfect blocking with even tighter timing, I feel like I should go back and make Sekiro my bitch this time. Lies of P does pretty much everything right. It's the perfect definition of a clone that iterates and expands on its inspirations to evolve into something even better. The weapon variety is second to none, mixing and matching blades and handles to create wacko movesets while rigid boss weapons still steal the show with their unique qualities. It's a 30-hour campaign if you're trying to do everything, unless some of the bosses lay you out big time, which they might for a while, but nothing here even comes close to like Melania difficulty, or Ishin, or Sister Freed. This game is jam-packed with content, and you don't even have to wander aimlessly on a horse to find it. The level design is exemplary, with some of the best shortcuts in any game like it. Lies of P is a masterpiece, and it's what's possible when games aren't afraid to challenge the reigning champions of their genre, and you pour your heart and soul into every mechanic. This puppet is no puppet at all. This one's a real boy. And that's every game I played this month. Tune in next month for every game I played that month. Like, share, and subscribe. Watch all my other videos with bloodshot eyes and a toothache, and I'll see you guys next time.